Hello and welcome to the very first episode of The Base Path. I'm Luke Krumich. I'm your host, and joining me is Owen Murphy, the number 47 prospect on the MLB Top 200 draft rankings. Owen, how are we doing, my guy?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. It's a pleasure having you. So, just right off the bat, I'm going to go through, your position, all that stuff, because you are a very interesting prospect. You're probably the legit two-way guy in this class, in my opinion. Um, and most people are like, oh, so he's, a DH or first baseman. No, you play third and you play it like really well.
Thank you.
No problem, my man. Like I was listening to excuse me, the like MLB's main draft guy, I forget his name. I'm blanking on names already. But he was saying that if you were a pure, third baseman, you'd be going in the fifth round.
hmm
And, you know, that is like legit. Like people say the top 7 rounds are the big rounds for teams, and it's where they spend the time looking into premium players, is the top
hmm
7 rounds in the MLB draft. Yes, it's like 30 some odd rounds or whatever, but you're not always going to find a Nestor Cortez in round 36. Like that's,
Exactly.
you're trying to find those guys in the top 7 rounds. And if as just a third baseman, you could be going in the third round, and now you throw in that you're one of, the best pitchers in the draft and the best player in Illinois, that's just a ridiculous upside with a prospect. And I think that it's super interesting that you're, a two-way third baseman pitcher.
Mhm.
So I'm just going to get into a little bit of the, nitty gritty baseball stuff here. Just kind of talk about some of the stats. If there's anything you want to throw in about, how your pitches move or what you enjoy throwing, stuff like that. Anything you want to throw in, go ahead and stop me. This is about you, my man. So your fastball tops out at 94.
hmm
That is, you're 18. That's like ridiculous.
Yeah, actually, just I think my last two starts, I've actually touched a six, so I've gotten up to 96 in the past couple of weeks, and then I sit around like 90 to 94. Lately, I've been like 93 to 95 top six, but I mean, my whole time before though, I've been like 90 94 for about like 2 years now, and just sitting around that area, but. I think one of the different things about me though than uh, some other kids with the velo and everything is, I mean, I consider myself pretty lucky because I mean I just play the game, and as you said before, I'm a two-way, so like I work on all that kind of stuff, but I've never been like totally committed to like chasing velo or anything like that, like with the plyo balls or stuff like that. I've done this all like quote unquote naturally, like just kind of like working out and doing all that, and then just throwing every day and long tossing and kind of the old school way because that's the way my pitching coach is and everything. So just wanted to throw that in there because it's kind of funny when people ask me like some dudes will reach out to me and they'll be like, how did you do this and blah blah blah, and I'm just like, man, I just was consistent and did it every day and long tossed, and my arm works well, and my whole family's blessed with arms that work well. So I mean, like I consider myself pretty lucky, and I just stuck with it. So
Yeah, not only that, but Prep Baseball Report has your fastball spin rate listed at 2515,
hmm
which, you know, better spin rate than Garrett Cole's right now this season. So that's just utterly insane for an 18-year-old kid. And for those who don't know, higher spin rate means it's going to make the ball look like it rises. So 96 looking like it's rising, not fun to deal with when you're in high school, getting out of a long day of AP statistics, and then you have to go face Owen, who's throwing 96 and it's coming at your, like, it's moving up. Like, that's, nobody wants to deal with that on a Tuesday afternoon. Like, that's ridiculous.
yeah, That stuff's funny. That stuff's kind of funny to think about too, because we've had some kids come out of AP tests and everything and have to go. And we're facing a kid who's top of 90 on the bump, and they're like, "Man, I'm dragging through today to just pound 2 Red Bulls or something like that." So yeah, high school baseball is different, man. It's fun.
High school baseball is such a different animal. It's like it's not even funny, bro. And
Yeah.
especially like at like my school, no offense to the guys on my school's team. Like they're awesome people, but we're not very good. Like
Mhm.
we're in the same division as Zach Crotchfeld, who's, topping 95, 96. Just like he's ridiculous too.
Yeah.
And we literally got out of AP Environmental Science. They had to go play him on our own field. He was already here throwing 96 before they even got out of class. Like it was ridiculous.
That's hilarious. I love that kid.
So
That kid's funny as can be, man. We met at the PDP. He was on our team, and like I love that kid to death. He's so funny.
yeah, man. I like there's just, we always joke that our conference has like great athletes and everything, but like we actually have to face one of them now. We got Kenny Pickett. At least we were in like sixth grade when Kenny Pickett was here. We were just enjoying the show. Like
Hmm.
now they had to face this kid and he's ridiculous. But back
That's
to
awesome.
you, your other three pitches, curveball, slider, changeup, is what they have listed here for you, which the curve is, 75 to 79, which obviously I haven't been lucky enough to, get like a pitching ninja view of that. But I mean, I can only imagine with how high your spin rate is on your fastball that you can make that drop off a table.
Mm.
And then same thing with your slider. Again, the highest spin rate, if you generate that high of a spin rate on a slider, it is going to move up, look like it's moving up and out, and people are gonna have they're gonna look silly. I'm just gonna be honest, they're gonna look silly swinging
Mhm.
at that. Especially when it's topping out at 74, and then you're coming in with a changeup that's topping out at 85.
Yep.
Uh, that's just like ridiculous stuff. So this is all right. Every pitcher, I've talked to some guys in the minors, like Andrew Baker, and who's in the Phillies farm, and Mick Abel in the Phillies farm,
Hmm.
uh, and like Ken Waldachuk. I've asked them like what their favorite pitch is. So what is your favorite pitch to throw?
I'd probably have to say it's my fastball, just because I have the most feel for it and everything. But I mean, here, hold up. I'm gonna grab a ball real quick to show my pitch grips too. Um, so I think so. I just throw it on a straight four, and I got like monster hands, so I'm like
You're the
able to
anti Kenny
manipulate the
Pickett.
ball. Yeah, exactly. So like I'm able to manipulate the ball pretty well, and I'm only 6'1", like maybe inching on 6'2", so I'm one of the shorter pitchers in the class. So like it's just kind of funny how big my hands are compared to it and everything. And like some guys will look at it and they'll be like, "Damn, is this kid like 6'6"?" And it's like, nope, nope.
Yeah, no,
But
that spin rate makes sense now with
yeah, yeah, yeah,
monster
exactly.
hands. Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I can just pull down on this so easy. But so I'll usually throw my four just like this, and then one pitch that PBR like didn't get or something like that. I don't know, but
I think
I
they
throw a
only list
cutter.
four.
Yeah, I don't know, but I throw a cutter too, so like on that slider, like I can manipulate it a bit different, and then my cutter is about like 88 to 89, and then it's got
That's so
probably
ridiculous.
like maybe like 2 to 3 inches of break or something like that, which is like 2 to 3 to 5 or something like that, which is like perfect for me because it's just looking for like a broken bat from a lefty or just a little jam shot or whatever, or getting a
Yeah.
righty on a cap. It's like a 1-1, like middle of the count type pitch, but I just wanted to add that one on. So
Yeah, man. I'm again, I like there's no way for me being in Jersey to find out everything that's happening, in Illinois high school baseball. So
absolutely.
I 100% appreciate you, throwing in all this insight. This is awesome.
Hmm.
But yeah, having that cutter with again hands that are huge like that, it is so easy for you to just go like that and manipulate that pitch. Um, Again with bigger hands, that spin rate kind of makes a lot more sense now.
Yep.
Because you're literally just flicking the ball and it's going 2,000 spins per second.
Oh yeah.
And like that's ridiculous. But now I want to focus a little bit more on the hitting and the fielding side because
Mhm.
again, you're a legit two-way guy.
Mhm.
Um, so again, just like every pitcher has the favorite pitch to throw, obviously, every hitter has their sweet spot. So in the zone, where would you say like, your favorite place to hit is?
Yeah. Man, that one's tough. I think I'd have to go like if I'm like I don't know. I always try to just shoot the ball straight back up the middle. Like I know Tamar Johnson talks about it all the time, and I listened to him over the summer, and he's like, I'm always just trying to staple that ball to that dude's forehead, just trying to hit that ball off the pitcher's forehead. So I was like, man, let me try that one time, and then like just like like piss missiles, like so consistent. So I just try to stay up the middle, and any ball that I can take up the middle, and I mean, probably when I'm the happiest with myself is if I get a ball like that is tough to hit and I'm able to just squeak out a barrel and hit it oppo like right center. But I mean, if I'm getting my pitch to hit, it's probably like middle in or middle away. Just anything in the middle part of the zone because like that's when I'm able to stay on the ball best and take it with backspin like on a line at 11 degrees, like launch angle, all that kind of stuff. Like just keeping low line drives and everything. Because once you get to the lower and higher parts of the zone, like that's when like you can start manipulating your barrel and everything. But when those dudes keep it middle away or middle in, that's when I have my most fun. So
Yeah, I was only able to find your hitting stats as of 425. So I don't know if that's your whole season or not, hitting
yeah,
wise.
I think I got you for our regular season. Hold up, let me
Oh,
pull them up real
perfect, my
quick.
man.
Yeah, dude.
More
Um,
prepared than me. Here we go.
yeah. Hold up, let me get these.
Just so you know, I will be like I'll cut this time so this won't be in the podcast.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because it might be a little bit because I
Yeah, nah,
spoke
you're good,
to
bro.
a couple people. Hold up. Mm-mm. All right. So, as of so like our regular season was, I think it was like 33 games or something like that, and then I have my stats from then, and I was hitting as of that point, 33 games. I was hitting 564 with 18 bombs, uh, 14 doubles, three triples, and 75 ribbies. So it was a good season.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And again, I had your stats on here from PBR as of 425, and you were basically hitting at the same clip, which is impressive that you were able to keep that 50% through most of your season and not
Mm-hmm.
really, dip under, dip over. Like you obviously, 50% is ridiculous. You weren't, but seeing like halfway through your season that you were 40 at bats in and you were still over 50, and then you were able
Mm-hmm.
to keep that going for the rest of the season, I was like, oh, wow, this is ridiculous. And now knowing that through 33 games, you were able to keep over, that 50 mark, dude, that is a wild stat line,
Yeah.
especially
I'm,
because you're splitting time as a pitcher.
yeah. I mean, I get to hit when I pitch though too, so
Well, yeah.
that helps out. But yeah, I don't know, dude. I think this whole off season I worked on like staying consistent, and that was the biggest thing. Like as a bat, like I don't care where my barrels are, just as long as I'm hitting them hard, like somewhere. And like my hitting coach Dan Brewer, he's all about like just low line drives or getting backspin on the ball. When you get backspin on the ball, good things happen. As long as you barrel the ball up and get it in play hard, like it doesn't matter. So like it got to the point. What made me really happy was like it got to the point where my miss hits weren't pop ups or like chopper ground balls. They were like low hit ground balls, or if I miss hit a ball, like if I was out in front of a ball, it might leave the yard. Like I had probably 4 or 5 homers where I was out in front, but because I kept the backspin and everything to the left, I was able to sneak it out. Like it's just I don't know. I think I think when you hear like about the launch angle kind of stuff and guys dropping their barrel and everything, like I personally disagree with it because I think like when it comes down to it, Mike Trout, of course, is the biggest example. He's like straight down the ball. Same with Albert Pujols, especially in Pujols' prime. Two of the most consistent ball players that there are. Like they are straight down the ball
Ever,
and they're
really.
looking for ever. Like seriously, straight down the ball, looking for just looking for a hard hit barrel percentage and hit the ball right back up the middle and stay in the centers, left center to right center. Like those dudes hit the best and they were the most consistent because of that and because of their ability to adjust. And like, I don't know, I have trouble with the Twitter gurus and all that kind of stuff that talk about that because I'm like, it doesn't make much sense to me. Like you might get like you might get 4 more miles an hour on your exit velo, but dude, like your exit velo variability, like you might go from hitting a ball 60 to hitting a ball 110. Like I'd rather hit a ball 95 to 104 every single time. So, but I don't
Yeah,
know. That's
man.
just me.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% understand like where you're coming from because, at the end of the day, you're the one seeing that ball and analytics are awesome. I love using analytics. Like I'm a big
Oh,
baseball
absolutely.
savant guy, but there are certain analytics that don't apply for certain players. And people have to
Mm-hmm.
understand that. Like there are people who train differently their entire career. And
Mm-hmm.
because of the way that they trained or just the way they were taught, they see the ball differently, they play the ball differently,
Mm-hmm.
and they can still have success. Not every baseball player is a robot,
Right.
basically. Bottom line. Like they're not all gonna hit the same, not all gonna pitch the same. Like we're human, we have, differences in how we do things.
Right.
I mean, somebody might host a podcast different than I do. Like it's the
Mm-hmm.
same for baseball. Like it's not all gonna be uniform. And I mean, again, PBR has your exit velo topping out at like 104.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like you don't get up there because you're trying to stay in this, middle spot. Like you can get up
Right.
there. Like let's not
Mm-hmm.
shortchange you at all. Like you can 100% get up there, but you don't have to in order to hit
Mm-hmm.
consistently.
Right. Right.
And that's something that's been like, I guess, lost in this age of baseball where it's like, hey, home run fun. And
Mm-hmm.
like I love baseball because of the game that it is and everything like that. But we can't not every baseball player is going to be a robot.
Right. I mean,
So yeah,
I think if you're a true baseball fan though, like if someone hits a backside single, I think I
you're
think a
excited.
backside single looks way prettier than a pull side bomb, in my opinion.
I
Just I've
I
been way
100%
happier
agree.
with, dude. Like we were playing this Catholic school earlier in the year, and this kid threw me a breaking ball low and out, and it was 2 strikes, and I went down and away, and I clipped it over the first baseman's head. Probably hit it like 80 miles an hour, but got it down the line for a double. And I was like, that was one of my happiest at bats just because of what I did with that ball and took it out there. Like, and some people just like, I don't know, not being happy with that or wouldn't have done that on that ball because they would be looking to pull that thing or whatever it is. I just think like you got to use all the field and like, especially if you want to play at the high level and whatever. But I mean, just the analytics is so cool and like especially with spin rate, all that kind of stuff, like launch angle, that stuff is so cool how you can predict that kind of stuff. But at the same time, like you got to preserve some of the old school stuff because that's how I grew up and that's what I've been taught. I've never really had like access to the analytical stuff. And like when people would tell me your spin rate's so high, I'd be like, I don't even know what that means.
Cool,
Like
bro.
2 years
Yeah.
ago,
Yeah,
like
like
I was just learning what it meant recently. So just because like the place that I've always trained at doesn't have that kind of stuff, so it was just kind of funny to start to learn about that kind of stuff, and it's so cool. And like, I mean, if I have access, I know I'll have access to it if I end up going to Notre Dame. But I mean, if I have access to it wherever I am, like I'm absolutely gonna use it. But yeah, I just think that's pretty funny when
yeah, I
talking about
mean,
all that.
no matter where you go next year, the two paths, which is why this is called, base paths, is because there are two paths that high school players can take. It's college or it's going into the farm system and working your way up from there, or going to college, for free or cheap, depending on how good you are in high school. Um, yeah, I'm just being honest here. and working your way and then going even higher in the draft. And, I don't want to toot your horn too much, but ESPN had you at pick 35 to the Royals, which I'm sure you saw, like,
I actually haven't seen that.
Bro, that's
Dude,
wild to me.
I'll be honest with you. I don't really keep up with that kind of stuff because I don't know. I just like I I think that stuff's so cool and everything, but I'm always like, man, we won't know till we know, and
Well,
I might as
yeah,
well not get my
obviously.
hopes up. Like
That's fair. That is
let's
very
just see
fair.
it out. But that is really cool. I like the Royals, so I follow them on Instagram. So
There we go. Yeah, if I were you, I might, go press that follow button 30 times tonight, just in case. You just want to go check.
maybe send them a DM or something.
Yeah, hey, ESPN says you should take me. I'm just saying, but yeah, like that again, you are a teenager. Like people expect you guys to not hear about that, which you obviously didn't. I mean, maybe that has to do with it being, ESPN plus, but
Yeah.
like people do hear those things, and that makes it a lot harder for players on days like draft night and all that. And again, that's why it's called base pass. You have a like legit decision to make coming up, and you'll be out there, hopefully in LA and watching, the All-Star break, and then it will be draft day and all that. And it's a real thing that people don't consider when they're watching, minor league baseball. Like, especially for high school guys in the US, like international players basically sign in the international free agency. There's not a lot of guys who are coming over to play college ball.
Right.
Because they're coming over because they want to, change the lives of their families and all that.
Absolutely.
But for, guys like you who, Gatorade Player of the Year in Illinois, stuff like that, you have that option of, hey, I can go to college at, one of the most prestigious universities in America and get to play the game that I love. Or I can be a pro right now if I want to. And that's a very difficult choice.
Oh, yeah.
So, I will bring up one thing. It's, the MLB Combine, kind of a, newer thing. They only had it like last year, right out of COVID. Wild choice by them to start it then.
Yeah.
Like what? What are we doing here, MLB? You could have waited a year, but whatever. This is, none of my business. I'm not a businessman yet. Hopefully one day I'll be making those decisions.
Yeah.
But will you be going to the MLB Combine?
Yeah, I will. I'm not sure if I'll be like participating and playing in anything, but we're still kind of making that decision and everything. But I mean, I am going, and I will be flying down that 14th. So, yeah, I'll be there. I'm actually pretty excited because I've only been to San Diego once, and it was last year for area code games, and it was like the most beautiful place and like absolutely perfect all the time. Like,
yeah, you
I
might
know,
want to slide that on a piece of paper to the Padres. You might want to,
yeah,
hey, I think this place is beautiful,
yeah, it was great. They probably get that a lot though, huh?
Yeah,
But
probably.
but I mean, you can attest to the shitty weather that we get, man. Like on Jersey and in the Midwest, like it's just brutal. So like to go out there for a little bit and just like kind of chill out for maybe a week and have a nice time there. It's so cool.
Yeah, because the games are only for high school players.
Mm.
So again, this is just another
Or
decision that goes into the
no,
whole thing.
they actually changed it.
Did they actually? I was literally
Mm-hmm.
like talking about it with a guy from West Virginia like 2 days ago,
Yeah,
and he was like,
I think because one of my good Ryan Cermak, I don't know if you know who that is. He's an outfielder. He's a center fielder for Illinois State, and he's
yeah,
projected maybe like 60th, something like that. MLB.com has him
yeah.
ranked 60th out of the top
I
100.
DM'd him too.
Yeah, he's a great guy, but he actually lives right down the street from me.
Oh, that's
We went to
wild.
the same high school, and so he told me he's going out and he's flying out and everything. So I mean,
I think, yeah, I know that like everyone's able to test. I don't know if everyone's able to play in the tournament.
gotcha.
Which it's stupid that they call it a tournament. You guys play exhibition games, but whatever.
Yeah,
Like it's not no, you're not winning anything. It's not a tournament.
I know.
It's just exhibition games. Like what? Come on, guys. But yeah, the testing and being able to have, all 30 eyes, which
Hmm.
on you at the same time is a big thing for a lot of guys.
Oh yeah.
So you have to weigh that with, hey, do I really want to, play out of my season and play, 4 extra games here when I don't have to,
Right.
and I can just let my testing speak for itself.
Hmm.
So again, just more decisions that go into this whole thing. I'm excited to see, how your testing goes, and everything. I really hope they make those numbers public because that stuff is so cool to me.
Yeah, absolutely,
Um,
dude. Me too.
so yeah, I mean, I'm assuming they'll make them public, but if they don't, I, I believe
Yeah,
that you're going to do
dude,
very,
don't
very
worry. I'll
well.
send them right over, dude, if
Hey,
you want
my man.
them.
But yeah, we're gonna move into more of the non, traditional baseball stuff. Like obviously we talked about you as a player now, but the minor leagues don't, and really college baseball too, if we're honest. Like the only minor league baseball players that are like known other than people like me who like enjoy college baseball
Hmm.
are like the guys who are on the Vols right now. Like
Yep.
because they're a fun team to watch and they have, a fur coat.
Yep. They
And,
make headlines, man. They make
yeah,
headlines.
exactly. They are like Arkansas put up 20 runs or 22
Yep.
runs or something ridiculous. Ole
Yep.
Miss has 18 runs up right now. Like
Oh my
that's all
God.
people see from, yeah, I know, on, not a bad team in Arizona, but that's
Hmm.
just wild. Um, yeah, like people don't see that, that you guys are still like honestly, you're kids, like we're in the same grade type thing.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, and you're about to, get drafted into the MLB, and I'm over here talking about you.
Yeah, bro. Hell yeah, dude.
See, like it's more of like you guys are still people. You're not just players. You're not numbers and prospect rankings and all
Hmm.
that. So, as a person, growing up, who was your guy like in baseball? Who was your favorite player to watch?
Um, dude, that is so tough. So I grew up a Cubs fan, and hold up, I got a W flag and right
Oh,
there.
nice.
But so I
Nice.
grew up a Cubs fan, and I loved watching Chris Bryant during his rookie year, 2015. That was ridiculous. Like just all those guys, um, Kyle Schwarber, Jason Hayward, like just all those dudes growing up. I love watching them, and those are the guys that I kept up with the most. I mean, of course, I actually really liked Arenado. Arenado, like I would watch all of his stuff, like just nonstop because I thought it was so cool how he's so funky with everything that he did.
Yeah, he
Um,
really is. He really
he,
is funky.
it's nuts. It's so funny, and I love Trout since I was like 4, but I mean because he was the best player in ball. Um, just all those kind of guys, just kind of the more humble guys who just went about the work like and just did ridiculous stuff really consistently. Like there's just something that like is really cool to me about that, like that you can just go and be so nonchalant about playing the best game of the world at the highest level. Like it was so cool. And like don't get me wrong, the guys like who play like Jazz Chisholm and that kind of like
Vibe.
fu kind of attitude, like
Yeah.
just leaving it all out there. That stuff's so cool too. I can't play that way.
You can't be that guy.
No, I can't, dude. I like just I feel too bad or like I just like I get in my head about it. I'm like I just don't like talking crap and stuff. I actually will compliment guys if uh some kid hit a double off me in one of my last starts and like a double off the wall and I was like, damn, that was a nice hit. And I turned around to him at second. I looked at him and I said, dude, that was a nice hit. And he looked at me and he was so confused. I was like, it was a good hit though. Like I gotta give it to him. It was great. Like that's what the game's about and everything, in my opinion. So like when I see stuff like that, like I hope it's out of good fun. But some of the like I know I just saw Tennessee, like one of the guys running second after hitting a double off the wall, flipping out the outfielders. I was like, man, what is going on?
Yeah, I don't know how someone can do that and not like instantly like be mad at themselves and like cringe at themselves.
I
I don't get
know,
it.
I know. I
I
mean,
just
and our boys, the Irish, are going to be playing them coming up soon in the Super Regional. So I mean, I'm hoping to get a little bit of revenge for that center fielder.
Yeah,
But
that poor guy who did
yeah, I
nothing
felt so
wrong.
bad. I know. But yeah, I mean, some other dudes who play with some flair, like one name that comes to mind in the draft this year is R.J. Austin. He's such a good
He plays
dude.
with flair.
He plays with flair, dude. It's really fun to watch. I'll be honest with you, dude. It is so cool to watch. Like the way, like just how he presents himself, and he, like, look, he looks so cool doing it too. So
Bro, yeah.
like I
Yeah.
can't be like that. I'm just cool, like whatever. I'm emotionless almost, but he just like that stuff is so cool to watch. And I mean, I hope he gets picked pretty high and goes this year. If he goes to Vandy, I mean that's a great opportunity for him too. Whatever he does, he's gonna do great. I can't wait to see what all these guys do. It's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, RJ wears like 6 armbands every
Yeah,
time
it's
he
pretty
plays.
sick.
And it's like, I'm like,
Dude,
bro, like I could never look like that. Like,
I
there's
can't
no
rock
way I could
swag
pull
like
that
that,
off.
dude.
Yeah,
My
bro.
my guy Estevan Moreno, he's committed to Notre Dame. He's from here. He's from Chicago, and he called me out on a podcast and said I had the least drip in the class.
Oh,
I was like,
in the
come
whole
on, dude.
class, bro.
Come
Come
on,
on.
dude.
Come
I was like,
on.
whatever, I'll take it. Whatever. I was
That's
like, dude, I wear
cold.
an arm sleeve. I wear an arm sleeve and some wrist tape. Like, you don't. Come on.
That's swag right there, you know?
Yeah, come on, man. I don't know.
You
It's
know.
so funny.
Yeah, man. That's just like that type of stuff is just so like I don't know how people do that. Like my favorite player growing up, Brett Gardner. Like
Oh yeah. You kidding
like
me?
just a normal
That
he's
bald
like a
menace.
normal dude.
Yes. Like every day, he's a lunch pail. He's the definition of a lunch pail
Yeah,
guy. Just shows up, hits a couple doubles off the wall, and lays down a bunt and goes home. Like
exactly. Like
it's
that's the type of guys I looked up to growing up, being,
yeah.
in New York. Oh, you like Jeter and like, Mo? Nah, I'm a big Brett Gardner guy.
Get out of here, man.
Like I had a Greg Bird jersey when he was popping off because he's just a dude. Like he's just a dude playing baseball.
Yes, yes.
Like it's just I love like watching Jazz play because he's so cool and like Acuna and like all of them they're so like it's awesome to watch and like
hmm
Giancarlo Stanton throwing bats at people and stuff like that. Like I could never have the guts to do any of that.
No, me neither, dude. Like it takes a different level of like confidence and swagger, man. I don't know. I just I don't know. They're, they're
I
nuts.
don't think it's a lot of it's like it's just stuff that they have to be like, yeah, I'm okay with doing this and I can
It
make it
helps
so
out my
other
game.
people, yeah, and people are
Yeah.
like, yeah, other people are going to hate this and it's going to make me better.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like everyone plays the game differently. Like you were saying before, people do things differently. We all have different bodies and we think different. So if that's what you need to do to play good, then that's what you need to do. Like
Yeah,
so,
just don't hit me when you flip your bat. That's
yeah,
all I
just
ask.
don't. Yeah, and like I think it's funny too because if a dude bat flips off me as a pitcher, like usually the first thing dudes do is just get salty and I don't know. I'm like, man, you deserve that. You smoked that ball. I don't care. Like, flip that bat, dude. Like, I'm gonna go and sit down your next two guys, so I don't really care. But like, that's how I always feel about it. And I
Yo,
know some other kids like
oh,
they get all mad and like they think like they get their ego bruised. But I mean, that's a game. I don't know.
listen, if you get mad, you're gonna. This is more baseball stuff. You get mad, you're gonna mislocate a pitch, and you're gonna
Oh,
end up letting up a 2-run home, and instead of striking the next guy out,
absolutely.
you just gotta be a little careful because there are those guys who you'll be like, "Hey, nice hit, man," and they'll be like, "Is this guy trying to get in my head?" And then
Yeah,
then you got an enemy for no reason. You were just being nice.
that'd be funny though. That would be funny.
Like that's the type of stuff that like I mean, another thing I saw, like Casey Martin, shortstop in the Phillies farm. He's with the Blue Claws right now. He like trucked a guy because he was
Yeah.
covering he was in the base path.
hmm
A little plug. Um, but like he's coming home. The guy's in the base path. He just bowled him over and then went and tried to help him up. And the guy went like this and like hit him.
Yeah.
And then a brawl broke out, and the guy Casey after the game was like, "I was just trying to be nice, bro. Like,
Yeah. I
I
feel
didn't
so
mean it
bad.
like that." He's like, I didn't even look up, and my shoulder was in his mouth. Like
Right.
that's the type of stuff that obviously that's a whole different level than, congratulating a guy on a double. But
Yeah.
that is like, you could have broken his shoulder. But
No,
um,
yeah, for sure. It's a little bit different.
yeah,
I can get why
just a
that
little.
catcher was mad.
Yeah, like I
I
understand
would
that, but
I would stand away from him and go, "I'm so sorry."
yeah, I'm good. I'm like that's my
Like,
bad. I'm so
dude,
sorry,
I'm so
bro.
sorry.
Yeah, like
Uh,
that's the type of stuff that people just like, some people take it the wrong way. He was
right.
literally like, bro, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to help him up. And he like, snapped at him. But
You're not
like, I
having it.
understand that, things happen, just don't block the base path. It's
Right.
like rule number one as a catcher, but whatever,
Yep.
Um, so yeah, this is, I'm gonna add this little segment in here. Questions from my mother. What's your favorite color?
Blue.
There we go. What's your favorite
Yep.
food?
Man, uh, you know what? I'm just gonna say steak tacos because I just had those yesterday at a graduation party, and they were like, I had like so many of them. It was so good.
Okay, my mom is gonna be so happy when you see this. I just finished eating steak tacos.
Yes,
Bro, that's wild. All right,
that's
last one.
awesome.
Questions from my mom. What's your favorite genre of music / song?
Um, I'd probably have to say I don't know, dude. I bounce around a lot, but I'd probably have to say like alternative. My brother is like super into music and he plays some music and he's all into that kind of stuff and he finds so much music and like I'm a big like Tyler the Creator guy. Like I've
Same.
loved him. Dude, I love him ever
I
since
like Gambino and all that.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, dude, all of them. Frank Ocean, like just all those guys. They're so good. And like anything like I think the Red Hot Chili Peppers too are my thing. So a little bit of rock,
Nice.
a little bit of alternative rock. So yeah, kind of bounce around. I'm not a big rap guy. I don't know.
Yeah, I
It is
mean, there's some rap I can get with, and there's some that I can't. Like I don't relate to, getting money and doing drugs. Like that's not me, bro.
yeah, yeah, that's not me either. But I mean,
Like,
dude, if that's you, that's you. Like I don't care.
yeah.
I just like the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
All right, this is gonna be my last one. Do you, have a go-to like walk-up song?
Um, so I don't know if I have a go-to walk-up song because I've never had one. So,
Yeah.
but
Well, yeah, obviously high
I think
school.
yeah, I think if I did have to choose one, because we chose ones for area code, but they didn't do them. I don't know. And I chose "Can't Stop" by the Red Hot, and I don't know. I love that song. It's a classic in my family. We've like been listening to it since we were little, so I love that song. And it just means something different for me. So, but
All right, man. Well, I think, I'm wishing you a lot of luck at the combine. You're gonna test, out of this world for, a smaller pitcher with,
yeah,
hands the size of, hoagies. But like, I wish you all the luck. Hopefully, things go well. Have you back on again. It's been awesome talking to you. And where can people find you online, like social media wise?
yeah. So my Twitter is OJ Murphy 10, and then Instagram is OJ Murph with two H's. And yeah, that's all. I think that's all the social media I'm on. But if I ever come on here again, I get a TikTok or whatever, I'll plug it. Like we'll see.
There we go.
Yeah, we'll see in the
Listen.
next couple of days. But hell yeah.
All right, man. Thank you for coming on once again. And this has been the Base Path with Luke Krumich. I want to thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your night, guys. How do I stop it? All right.